What up, y'all? Source and Company Podcast. Once again, I am your host, Source, of course. You can holler at me at Smitty Source on Instagram, at Smitty Source on Twitter. Today's company is an 804 legend. I call him a legend.
Stop it, man.
In the rap game. To
playground legend, basketball playground legend.
I don't know about the basketball, but the music game definitely, even on the business end, we have Mr. DJ Lonnie B in the building.
It's a pleasure to finally be on the Smitty Source show. Finally.
Yes, sir.
What's good, bro?
So, we've been talking about it for a long time, and I'm finally getting to it. Not on your end, it's on my end. Finally getting to it. So I appreciate you taking the time to ride with me.
That's all love, bro. My pleasure.
So let's talk about it. Let's talk about what we in right now, of course. Regardless of when this joint drop, we could drop this joint 3 months from now. We still gonna be in a pandemic state, in my opinion. So the fam holding up on your side.
Fam good, man. From the time that, they started talking about this thing, I've been on the front line, man, making sure that my family never had to leave the house. Right. Keeping the house well stocked. It's been kind of smooth sailing. We got everything we need. My studio is like a playground for my son, so he's enjoying, being in here, hitting on all of the buttons and the equipment and DJing and stuff. So
right,
yeah. So now it's pretty good, smooth sailing, man.
Cool. Yeah, a lot of people out here in they struggle mentally and financially, especially financially. Because, a lot of people jobs shut down and all that. So, I've been feeling pretty good myself. I can't front. Like, I've been enjoying the time that I've been able to be at home. And my daughter's home from college, so we all here, blah, blah, blah. But I don't want to say it too much because so many people struggling. I'm like, I don't want them to be like, oh, you having a good time. And we over here struggling.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like you also have to look at my field. I'm a DJ, so everything that I did or that I do to make money has shut down.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So there is no, money coming in right now. But I think of a lot of other things that could make this whole situation a lot worse. Like right now, in this time right here, forget the DJ thing, man. Like there's people on the news every day that are just numbers that are dying every day. So as long as I got my health. And in this moment right here, that's everything for me right now. Like all the other stuff, getting back to the DJing, when we'll be able to get in front of a crowd of people again, that's the least of my worries right now. Staying safe, because honestly, I'm one of those people with the pre-existing conditions. I have high blood pressure.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? So, I ain't got no time to be playing around. So I'm more focused on staying out of the way and staying healthy. So, I can figure all the other stuff out later after we get through this.
For sure. So you mentioned the health thing, like you've had health. I mean, it's been public information that you've had health issues for a minute now, including the cancer. I won't call it a cancer scare. It was cancer.
Yeah.
So how are you doing? Well, how are you doing since then? Basically, is my question.
Cancer-wise, I'm good. God willing, right around like May 23rd, it'll be 7 years cancer-free.
Wow.
So that's truly a blessing. And I'll be 46. So the other thing that they were checking when I was going in for my testicular cancer follow-ups was my PSA for the whole prostate cancer thing. And, by the grace of God, that's been good too. So right now, the biggest thing for me to really focus on, is just the whole high blood pressure thing, working out, trying to get some weight off to get that pressure down, because, that's a whole nother killer within itself. So
you working out? You work out?
Not as much as I used to. The one thing I've been doing a lot of during this downtime is walking with my wife. Like we walk in the neighborhood a lot, and we try to put in like 2 or 3 miles. Do you have an Apple Watch?
Wife does.
Of course not. You got an Android phone.
I do.
Yeah. So now we put up a lot of steps and miles on our Apple Watches and the Nike Plus app. So my goal is, again, on the other side of this, man, to be a lot healthier more than anything.
For sure. Yeah, that'd be the goal for a lot of us, because it's real easy to sit around like on a nightly basis. You chilling, so it's easy to take a drink or two every single night.
Yeah.
Every night.
Yeah.
without fail. And it's not even like you trying to get twisted or anything. You ain't doing nothing. I might as well take a drink, sure, because I ain't got nowhere to be.
Yeah. I honestly haven't had a drink since all of this.
Really?
Not one. Yeah, not one. And again, to be honest, I'm not even a drinker. The only time that I drink is when I'm in the club. And since I haven't been in the club, I really haven't drank. And I drink more so probably because of the whole anxiety thing, the pressure of making sure that people have a good time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not a real, I don't want to say I'm not a social person, but I'm more of an introvert. So when you're in that position and you're the DJ, you gotta, you know, be a little bit more outgoing. So sometimes that liquor loosen me up a little bit.
So 20 plus years in, you said anxiety. Do you get nervous yourself, or is anxiety like an issue that you dealt with before?
I mean, nervous, however you want to approach it, man. It's just the fear and the pressure of not delivering. You know, when you get to a certain space, people expect, you know what I'm saying, a lot of you. So it's real easy to let people down. So and it's also on the flip side, it's real easy to get comfortable and to feel like, well, I can just do whatever because I'm quote unquote and everybody's going to just, you know, rock with you. I don't take that approach. So that's why I'm probably my biggest critic. I'm probably more hard on myself than anybody else.
That speaks to your success, though, for real. Like that type of self-management speaks to your success, which leads me to the whole heavy hitters thing. Cause it's got that target on your back, kinda. So hit the target as well. But first of all, heavy hitters. I mean, if you follow music at all, you know, heavy hitters is a DJ crew, I guess.
Family. Like, I'd rather call it a family, man.
Family.
Yeah,
okay.
Because I mean, anybody could be a crew, man. But the heavy hitters is more family. We talk about well-being and brotherhood probably more than we talk about music and being there for each other more than we talk about music and what can we do for each other musically.
So I was going to ask you what were the benefits of being part of that collective? I'm sure the name is one thing, but yeah, just that you just mentioned.
Just recently we had the most powerful heavy hitter conference call ever because again, it's a conference call full of DJs and none of us are working. A lot of them are in New York. A couple guys were dealing with some of the symptoms of COVID and just trying to be there to talk each other through all of this stuff. It was a very powerful call. I don't talk that much on the call, but I spoke a lot about making sure everybody stay healthy because being healthy is your front line of defense during this whole thing, man. So it was on my soul to speak. Anybody in the heavy hitters will tell you I'm not a talker. I don't talk much, but I was thinking about the whole high blood pressure and being one of those people with the pre-existing conditions, and I thought it was necessary for me to bring it up. And a lot of other brothers started to chime in and start talking about, being diabetic, and so it just was a very transparent moment. And when I was on that call, I was thinking to myself, how many people don't have that? Like some people don't even have that within their own family or within their own circle. So it's just powerful. And it was my daughter's first. My daughter's a heavy hitter, and it was her first heavy hitter call. So I was trying to explain to her, like, all the calls aren't this serious, but this is a good one for you to be on and see what, the family is about.
First joint was a serious joint. That's all right, though. Yeah. Shout out to your daughter, DJ. Well, Aaliyah, the DJ, I should say.
Yeah.
Make sure I get it right. How is she doing? Well, you have 3 daughters.
Yeah.
And 1 son.
Yeah.
First of all, I guess we'll talk about Aaliyah as far as the DJ thing. How's that been going for her? Is that more pressure? Does that feel like pressure to her, you think?
Nah. And she's incredible. Like she's, really, she's really good at it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just saying it because she's my daughter. Like, I'll let you in on the secret. And this is probably the only place that I'll say it. So if they hear it, they hear it. They don't, they don't. There's been a couple times when I didn't feel like doing a 5 o'clock mix, so I was busy. And I would tell Aaliyah, play these songs, mix this, and I'm going to send it into the station. So some of the mixes, when people hit me up and say that I'm killing it, is actually my daughter. People couldn't even tell the difference. Like she's like that. You know what I'm saying? So
Word.
yeah.
That's a good start. And this is just the beginning, like not the
Just the beginning, man. Like, you know, I'm looking at her bank account right now. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Daddy might need a loan. What's good?
Yeah. Don't forget me, daughter.
Yeah.
So we talked about it a few weeks ago, actually, you and I, about having one daughter that's kind of in a spotlight.
Yeah.
And having other children who do whatever they do in their own right, but this one is just shining at the moment. Have you kind of looked at how that, or seen any effects of that on your other children?
Not really. I mean, I am very I support all of my kids and everything that they want to do. I don't want to put any type of pressure on any of them. I want them to understand what's happening for Aaliyah is happening for Aaliyah because she's working hard at it. It wasn't something that was given to her. She practiced at it. So what is the thing that you're practicing at? What can I, get you? If you're into photography, I'll buy you the camera. Let me buy you the lenses. If you're into singing, let me buy you the microphone. Let me, get you some vocal lessons or whatever it is. So they all know that I'm there to support them 100% because that's how I was blessed to be in the position that I'm in right now because my mom did the same thing for me. So I don't want to push any of my kids. Right now is Aaliyah's moment. And like I know, this could be her season. The DJ thing could kind of level out. And my daughter Alexis, who sings, could take off and be doing her thing. Or my daughter Lonnie, who's into photography, videography, could be doing some big motion picture stuff. So you just never know. So I try to explain to them, never get so caught up in what somebody else is doing. Not even deeper than your sister. Like none of your peers, nobody else. Your goal is to be better than you were yesterday, not competing against what nobody else is doing.
100. That's exactly the truth. I agree with that 100%. Now you got little man.
Yeah.
That's a whole new world. That's a whole new world.
Yeah,
Hey,
man,
my mother,
that little guy
told me, she was like, if you would have had a boy, you wouldn't know what to do. Because I have two daughters.
Mm-hmm.
How's that? I mean, obviously you have a brother, so
yeah.
How's it having a son though?
Nah, man, it's I don't know if there's words to express it, man, because I had three daughters. Danger had three sons. My boy Monty got a son. A lot of my friends had sons. And when they were little kids, I used to always look at them and I used to be like, yo, I got to get me one of them Jones, man. like I could just go buy me one. And then when I got sick, it was ill. I remember laying on my back and looking at the ceiling, thinking to myself, this is the time when I wish I had a son, because if I had a son and God forbid something ever happened to me, I know that he would be there for his mom like I was for my mom. He'll be there like I am for my mom. He'll be there for his sisters and all that other stuff. Right. And then not only did I beat the cancer, but then God blessed me with a son. So right now I'm just trying to raise him and, guide him into being the man that I want him to be for the family,
Respect. Yeah, man, I don't know. I'm good with these two girls, man.
Come on, man. Go back, man. You probably still got a few more shots.
Right. I'm good on this end. We're going to let that be.
Yeah.
But you did mention your mom a little bit. And for those who don't know, and just because I think it's a great story, tell the people how you even became a DJ. Like, I'm talking about the story about going into the place and then.
Oh yeah, the J.L. Francis story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think it was me, Jew, and maybe Pokey. I don't remember who it was, but me and two of my friends. Huh?
Poke.
Yeah, two of my friends. We went to J.L. Francis, and somebody left the little center open, and we went inside. There was a boom box. I mean, it was a lot of stuff in there, but there was a boom box, some pickles, and a basketball. I remember I took the boom box, somebody else took the basketball, and somebody busted pickles on the basketball court. For whatever reason, I have no idea. One thing led to another, and I don't know how they found out that I had the boom box, but Alex Irby came to my house. knocked on the door,
Sure.
and had a conversation with my mom. And instead of taking me to juvenile, he heard that I wanted to be a DJ. So he said what he's going to do is, instead of, taking me to juvenile, he's going to let me DJ the J.L. Francis dances. And believe it or not, that was the beginning of my whole DJ career. That was my first weekly gig ever.
Wow.
And it's crazy. Like, even when I think now, like, I was so young, and some of the people that were there was so much younger. And now, like, everybody that used to be at those J.L. Francis joints, they got to be at least 30 plus right now. Everybody that was there is 30 plus now.
Yeah. Wow. So if you wouldn't have done wrong, you might never, I mean, who knows? Did you think there was at that, well, that's kind of early. I mean, how old were you then?
I had to have been maybe like about anywhere between 12 and 14, I'm thinking.
Did you even think of a path? Like, did you even have a path that you were even considering for life?
At that point, no. I mean, at that point, I used to dance. I enjoyed dancing, rapping, and DJing. I was dancing, rapping, and DJing at that point, but I don't think I was thinking that deep that one day this might be, my life.
Right.
I still probably was thinking I had a chance to be a basketball player for real.
Could you hoop? No, let's. I mean, since we're here, yeah. I'm going to confirm these statements at some point with some people that we both know. So,
man, listen, like right now, I probably could have slapped the bottom of the nets, but in the mid '90s, like I was dunking. Like I used to want to be like Jordan, man. So I could play a little bit. Like I said, I don't know if I was ready for high school for real, but on playground pickup, I definitely put up numbers. I got busy.
I feel you. Okay. I remember, I never told you this, but I never actually thanked you for this, I don't think. But back in the day when I used to have dreams of being a rapper, and you were rapping at the same time, I don't think you really knew me for real, but I needed a record. And somebody told me you had the record, or you would let me borrow a record. You told me come pick you up, brought me in your house, your mom crib, we did whatever, you showed me the wall that looks
record wall. Yeah, just like
yeah. Uh-huh. And we went to the studio, you went to the studio with me, I did what I needed to do, took you back home, and and I got a story off air. I'm gonna tell you a story about that event. I was doing a show in New Jersey, and I needed whatever record, and it went all downhill. I got to tell you that story.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I don't even remember that. I don't even remember that. Yeah, wow.
It was right when you were working on doing a single. Actually, you were doing a single, and I remember you said, "I'm going to Skills and I are gonna get together and figure this thing out."
Wow.
So, yeah, that's one of those memories that comes back.
Yeah,
out of the blue.
That's crazy.
So let's talk about. I mean, we already talked about the family a little bit, but during times when we're not in a pandemic, not stuck in the crib, you are outside of the crib.
Yeah.
Regularly, like on a regular basis. That's what you do. I mean, DJs, and I'm sure that's the case for a lot of DJs. But you have 4 children, 3 on the younger age, right? So how does being so busy, because you gig all the time, like all the time. To me, it looks like all the time. How does being away from them kind of affect you, or how do you think it has an effect on them, or you think they see what it is and they know what it is, and that's what Daddy does?
They see what it is. I think right now, like right here in the latter stages of my career, I've been blessed enough to be in a position where I don't have to work as much. Well, I didn't. I'm gonna have to work a whole lot more with all this stuff going on. But up until this point, man, I was able to pick and choose what I wanted to do. There was some times when I just wanted to chill with my wife, and I would, call somebody to go fill in for me, and I'll just stay at home, with my wife. So early on in my career, like I wish I could have spent a lot more time with my older daughter, because I was so caught up in the hustle and bustle. And we spent time together, but not as much as I feel like I'm able to spend with my son. And I think it's more so because of where I'm at in my life, where I'm at in my career, understanding what's more important You know what I'm saying? Because when you're younger, you feel like you're going to live forever, man. And when you deal with health scares like I've dealt with, man, you just look at life from a whole different perspective. So, yeah, nah, you know, if I could do it all over, man, you know, I would try to figure out a little bit more of a better balance. And that's where I'm at right now, just trying to create that perfect balance with the family life and the career.
Is it a regret though, or are you I don't live with regrets kind of guy?
Not a regret, because I mean all of it played a part in where we are now. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because I hustled and did everything else when my daughter wanted to go to school. You know, ill story real quick. Like I wanted to be a DJ. My mom couldn't afford to send me to, no, I wanted to go to college. My mom couldn't afford to send me to college. And she told me if I set out that first semester, she'll buy me my turntables. Well, time had passed. It was time for me to get the turntables. She still didn't have the money. But she was like, she's not going to pay the mortgage, took the mortgage money, bought me the turntables. And that's how I started to actually get the practice to be where I am right now. What's ill about that is I was able to take those two turntables that she purchased for me, build a career, and pay for my daughter to go to college. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it come full circle. Again, I wish I could have spent more time, but because I hustle, grind to do everything I could to, you know what I'm saying, build a brand and a name, I was able to do that. And I remember when my daughter's mom called me, when Alani's mom called me and was telling me how much it was going to cost. I didn't know, like, how are we going to pull this off? And, you know, by the grace of God, that's when all the noise happened. So I don't think things just happen, you know, for no reason. I think everything happens for a reason. So, yeah.
That's crazy. And now you mentioned the art of noise, not to get off of family too much, but you mentioned the art of noise. I wasn't even going to talk about music, but we got to at least point out the fact that the art of noise has become a staple. Like it became, I ain't gonna say it happened immediately.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You can speak more to that, but it is a staple in Richmond and people know about that joint. I mean, not even just.
It's not. Now it started off as a party with 100 people, and it grew up to, you know, 1,500 people. The scary thing is, when I think about that, is I don't know with everything that's going on when they'll let that many people be around each other again. So who knows what the future may hold for the art of noise. I would hope that we'll be able to get back to it. I feel like people's health is a lot more important than us getting back to doing the art of noise. So it'll be a blessing to get back to it. If we don't get back to it, it was great when we did it. You know what I'm saying? And we'll just figure out what the next thing is. You know what I'm saying?
That's what we've seen a lot of the next thing happening via Instagram. I've been going a whole different direction. The Instagram, just for real, thinking about the art of noise and turning that into something else. We've seen that DJs have jumped out the window with the IG lives and speaking. I mean, D-Nice, obviously, with the set he did a few weeks ago, that garnered a lot of attention based on a lot of different reasoning. But
yeah,
it was a big deal, and it has created it. I think I have to credit it, even though it wasn't. He's not the first guy to do it. He wasn't the second guy to do it. But the level that it got to and the attention it brought, I think it created a new wave. It could end up being a new stream of income for a lot of people.
I think so. I don't think that could have happened to a much deserving person. D-Nice is legendary. D-Nice is a great human being. Forget a DJ. Like, you know, I've watched him move. I am a fan of him as a rapper. You know what I'm saying? I heard him DJ a couple times. Huh? Yeah.
My name is D-Nice.
I was always a huge fan of his photography. Like, we actually had a conversation about photography and lenses and stuff a long time ago. You kind of touched on it. I think the one thing that made his situation unique was the star power. You know, it kind of reminds me of a real party. Like, sometimes people go to a party for the hype, and then some people go there because it's a great vibe. So, you know, if Jay-Z's at a party, people might focus on the fact that, yo, Jay-Z was there. The DJ could be trash. Not saying that D was trash, but it's just, I think the focus started to get more on the wrong thing. And how many people are saying, oh my God, it's 30,000. Now it's 60,000. Let's get it to 80,000. You know, I'm not really, I don't want to get too caught up in it because I like it when it's pure. Like, do it because, and not saying that D Nice, it wasn't really D Nice. I think it was more other people involved. But if I go live, I want to go live and not look at that number and do what I'm doing. And if there's 15 people that appreciate it, if it's 20, 25 people that appreciate it, then it is what it is. The main reason why I haven't went live is because I feel like too many people are doing it. And I have a thing about doing what everybody else is doing. So I just have to figure out a unique way to do what it is that I'm doing. I don't want to be just another DJ that my donut light is on and people come peek their head on my page to see what I'm doing. I want to have a rhyme and reason as to why I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then on top of that, I've also enjoyed sitting back just being a fan, watching so many of the other DJs rock out.
Yes, sir. I mean, D Nice and Primo and Questlove and
Kid Capri. Skills been getting busy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Skills had the dope, even before Kid Capri joined, Skills had the dope quarantine mix where all the songs were related to being stuck in the house or
Skills is a genius.
yeah. And I think that joint was overlooked, slept on a little bit, but you know.
Yeah.
It happens to
and real quick, I want to shout my man DJ B out. That's another thing, man. There's brothers, like you said, that's been doing the whole live thing a lot longer than, you know, what's happening in this moment. And I don't want that to get overlooked. You know, when if you ever see DJ B on, B has been doing it for years. You know what I'm saying? So I think brothers like that need credit. Brothers like DJ JC need credit because they were doing it way before it became the flavor of the money. People just posting up, putting their cash app at the bottom of their joint to get a few coins. So I just wanted to shout them brothers out.
Absolutely. DJ B, Buyer Real, that's who you talking about?
Huh?
Buyer down 7.
Oh yeah.
My God. So I know it, like, we won't go get into the business aspect. We already in the music now, so we talking.
Let's go.
Bit, you know, how? Not that it really matters at this point, because it's really about you. I'm sure you're going to say it's about the brand at this point for people.
Yeah.
But as far as the music game, do you think that we are the same way as the generation before us, and looking at the music that comes after us? Same way that people said hip hop, oh, that's hip hop, oh, that ain't nothing but blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's not real music, all that. Now we're at a point where we're looking back at other artists, younger artists, and some of the music may not be relatable or our favorite. So we're looking at it as trashed off top. Do you think you're just doing the same thing that people did before us?
Maybe a little bit. I think the biggest thing, the thing that I have a problem with is I can respect, you know, young energy, people doing things different. I think the thing that bothers me the most when I think of it is, and especially being in radio, is there's no balance. Because even when we was coming up, everything wasn't positive, but there was balance. You had positive stuff, and you still had NWA. You still had, you know, controversial groups like Public Enemy and things like that, but you had De La Soul too. You know what I'm saying? And even in R&B music, it wasn't just, you know, let's go have sex. It was, you know, love, relationship, forever my lady. There is no balance now. So I think if I was to complain about anything, or I don't even want to say complain, if I was to give any advice to a younger artist, like, try to make sure that you create some balance. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll stand out in this day and time. Can you imagine how hard it is if I was to go on the radio right now and try to do a positive mix to uplift people in this time, and there's nothing positive really to play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or nothing, no positive mainstream stuff. Let's just say that, because I'm sure there's plenty positive artists that don't get that mainstream shine.
Absolutely. And got to shout out Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole. And those are the go-tos of the more lyrical and realistic, I guess.
I like Rhapsody too. Rhapsody is dope. I mean, there's a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, that's doing it. And I love seeing people like that get the shine that they deserve, you know?
Have you still never listened to a whole Outkast album?
Never. And I have every one of them here. I have every Outkast album here. But I don't really listen to albums like that. You know what I'm saying? At this point in my career or in my life period. And I don't listen to music when I drive. When I'm driving down the street in my car, I drive in silence. I listen to so much music that's just a peaceful moment for me.
Wow. That's deep. That's
yeah.
I do the same thing sometimes, but that's just because I don't know why that is. I mean, sometimes if you're not in control of what you're listening to, you're not trying to hear just whatever. You want to be in a certain vibe, a certain type of music. Silence works the same way, I guess.
If I had to go back and listen to anything, like what the music that gives me that feeling is when I go back to the early 90s hip hop. I'll listen to stuff like OC, Organized Confusion, the Cellar Dwellers. Like that is the stuff that is at the core of my soul when I think about hip hop, and when I was just young and wanted to be a rapper and wanted to be around that type of energy. Right. And, when I say stuff like that, there's a lot of people that don't even know who those groups are, but that is what, gets me going. So
I had a young dude I know, he's probably 19, 20 now. And he is like, he shocked me by reciting Nas lyrics word for word.
Wow.
And I was like, who are you? Like, I don't know. But a lot of times we look back and we're like, well, you don't know who blah, blah is, or you don't know who blah, blah is for younger kids. And the bad part is there's probably no reason for them to know, because the artist might not be around anymore, or it might not have been brought to their attention. But for this dude to know Nas word for word, I was like, it was impressive.
That's dope.
He's
that's
not
super dope.
I'm sure. Like, there's a lot of young cats, and as far as artists as well, that might be into the 90s, especially the 90s. I mean, what's the golden era for you? Not even the golden era. What's your era? You just mentioned OC. You saying 93, 95, 96-ish.
Yeah, 93 to 95. Yeah, that between 93 to 96, that early Wu-Tang stage. Illmatic is my favorite album. So everything around that time, Main Source, the Live at the Barbecue, trying to think of some not so known artists that were big to me. Of course, again, OC, Lord Finesse, Granddaddy IU. Huh?
Goody Mob.
Yeah. Nah, I never listened to a Goody Mob album.
Really?
Yeah. So I was heavily influenced. That's it. Like that's what it really influenced me the most. So I never really got into any of the Southern, like the Scarfaces, the Ghetto Boys, none of that stuff. Outside of the Ghetto Boys had a song called Scarface that was big in the club that I used to always hear in the trap. So records like that I knew, but never was a fan enough to go back and listen to the whole project.
Dang.
Pete Rock and CL Smooth, like that's where I'm at to the core, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Gangstar.
Main Ingredient is still one of my favorite albums.
Yep.
Well, man, like I said, we can do this all day, all night. But I'll let you go. Let me get this one more topic off, just because it's about you. As far as the brand, you mentioned brands, the Lonnie B brand. What's next? What's on deck? What should we be on the lookout for from you?
The biggest thing for me right now is I want to launch my own internet radio station, internet platform. Just because I feel like it's time, you know what I'm saying? I've been talking about it for years. I have my own space for it already. And even when I look at the direction that everything is going, everything is digital. Everything is, social media. So no one is going to Radio Shack or Best Buy to buy a boombox anymore. The way that we consume music is on our phone, is on our computer. So the fact that everything is moving in that direction, I have the power to create my own signal. Back in the day, I would have to buy a tower and get an antenna to do that, but I don't, because now with Bluetooth capabilities in people's cars, people can Bluetooth my station in their car, and it's crystal clear, just as clear as Hot 97. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I would love to just create a space where I can play the music that I've always loved, and I know that the people that have grown up loving music with me will love as well. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I feel like I have handcuffs on and I can't do the things that I want to do because of the direction that they want to take the station, which I respect. But I just want to have the freedom to do my thing and give some younger people and other DJs shots to shine as well. So That's the biggest thing on my plate. And then on top of that, and helping my family build their brands. You know what I'm saying? Because within the next year or so, when I'm doing events, I want to be able to say it's sponsored by my daughter's, photography company. Aaliyah, the DJ, is spinning, sponsored by Black Girl Lost. My daughter, Alexis, her lip gloss line, or, her singing or doing something. My son, I want to have a kid's clothing line for him. So that's what's on the forth. Between that and the radio station, that's all I'm working on. And dropping some pounds.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's the battle business. But yes, I appreciate you taking the time. I'm telling you, we're gonna have to do a part 2 at some point in time, because we didn't even get into the real rap stuff. The real.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna ask me some real hard questions, man. Like, who don't I like? Who I got beef with? You know what I'm saying? I thought this was gonna be a good interview, man.
Nah,
I'm joking.
I'm joking, bro. We ain't going down that road. Maybe next time. That's what you want to do. All right, bro. Appreciate you. Source and Company. Lonnie B, we out here. Let's go. It's grown folks all up in the place. Mike.